Hey, what's up YouTube? Back and focus the video. So first of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Like, it really means a lot to me to have 4,000 subscribers. And I hope to continue to keep putting out content. It's been a minute since I put out a video just because I kind of hit a slump. I didn't know what to really put out, but I'm actually out here in the woods right now, out here in the wilderness. And I'm going to tell you guys a little story and show you a little something about this car that hit me about, I don't know, I guess a month ago. Whenever Hurricane Irma or Irma, or however you pronounce it, people say it different ways. When that was coming through, I had a little freak out moment with this car. Not really a freak out moment, but kind of was a freak out moment. So anyways, this video is mostly for people who still have their active grille shutters. A lot of people have taken their active grille shutters off with the stock with the stock intercooler, and a lot of people have taken them off because they have a new intercooler on the car, an aftermarket intercooler. I still have mine on, but with my tune, it actually disables them from shutting. It just disables them, period. So that's what this video is about. So back when the hurricane was coming through and was rolling up Florida, we had a lot of Floridians, I guess that's the word you use, come up here. And we had people who were up here just kind of freaking out also. So gas stations were running out of gas and different things like that. And I was actually on complete E. I actually was gonna, a lot of people want me to do this video where you completely run out of gas and see how far you get, and I actually almost did it in that video. I mean, I'm not in that video, but I almost did it that day because I was just so on E. And when I got to Costco, they had like no gas. So Costco's gas, I get my gas from Costco, just to let you guys know, because it's top tier if you believe in the top tier stuff, and it's actually really inexpensive. And at that time, their premium was $2.79 for premium, whereas everybody else in town had like $3 and up. That was the cheapest you can find, so everybody was flocking to Costco. So I'm sitting there like, well, I'll be all right. I don't have to worry about going to Costco. So I was at the office, and I was like, well, I'll be okay. I'll just wait. Instead of going during like lunch or something, I'll just wait and go when I'm off. My dad actually hit me up. He was like, yo, you might want to hit up Costco real soon because there's a lot of people here. Come on, flies. That's what happens to me in the wilderness. There's a lot of people here, and now I got bees trying to come in. And so I was like, well, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Nobody wants premium. Premium, everybody uses regular crap. Well, when I got to Costco that day, they had no premium at all. I was like, yo, y'all ran out of premium? Yeah, we ran out of premium. So I had to put 87 in the car. And this is a long way for me to tell you the story of the freak out moment I had with the active grille shutters. I put 87 in the car, and I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, I already made a video about putting 87 in the car anyway, so I don't really care. Put 87 halfway, and then I went to Shell and filled the rest of the way up with their little V-Power crap. And so I took my tune off. I went to stage 0. I went from my stratified 93 octane tune to a stage 0 tune, which is the little Cobb tune on here. My car actually acts a little weird when it comes to the stage 3 tune, stage 0 tune. I don't know what it is about that tune, but it just, my car just, it acts weird. So anyways, so I ran that stuff out of the car, and it took me a lot, not a lot longer, but it definitely did take me longer to get that stuff out of the car than the regular gas that I put in there from the 93, for whatever reason that may be. So I'm messaging my homie that day, or actually just all the time, and so I was like, yo, this car feels weird. It feels weird. It felt weird on stage 0, and then when I had actually went ahead and emptied that gas out and put 93 back in there and put my stratified tune on there, it felt even worse. It was just worse. And so I'm like, yo, this car is not acting right anymore. I'm a little upset that I had to do what I had to do anyways. What's going on? But one day I got smart. And when I got home, let me tell you first of all, what was happening with the car. So here, let's get this thing on real quick. Come on, load up. So this is what I gauge. I've said it before in a video, but just in case you guys are new, this is what I gauge when I drive this car. I have the OAR and I have the ignition corrections for all the cylinders, and then the actual AFR. That's what I monitor. During that time period, my ignition corrections were horrible. They were horrible, and it started out okay. And this is what I had noticed driving the car during that week, or those couple of days before I got smart. I had noticed that when I first turned the vehicle on and would drive to the office, or if I would drive to just somewhere to just drive, because I just like to drive, and from a cold start, I take it out and drive, and the car would react really well. It was punchy. It was still, you know, just fine, and my ignition corrections and stuff were all great. My oil temps and stuff were fine. But after a while, after everything started to warm up, it just started acting crazy. And like, right here, I turned the car off before I started the video. I always have negative corrections. I have just slight negative corrections, usually less than 2. Sometimes it's 2. But the thing is that when you have negative corrections, you can, what I do is I look at the negative corrections, and if it starts lower and starts to trend upward, it's fine. But what was happening during those 2 days that I had the 93, that I had just put the 93 back into the car, and it was acting crazy, it was not trending upward. The negative corrections were going down. It would like when I would give it gas, it would start at like negative 1 or negative 2, and then it would start going down. And I'm like, yo, this is freaking me out. I was spooked. I'm texting, I'm messaging the homie, and I'm like, yo, this car acting crazy. I don't know what's going on. And so I also noticed right here, I drove here, and you see my oil temperature where it's at. That's usually where my oil temperature is at. It never really goes higher than that. The office that I am at the moment, it is in South Carolina. I'm here in Georgia, and so it's not too far because of where I live, but it's a drive. And never ever has my oil temperature gone past the halfway mark, and it was going past the halfway mark. I mean past the halfway mark, like not like a little bit past, like it was going past the halfway mark. And I'm like, okay, so something's going on. I gotta figure this out. So one day I just came home and I got smart. This is what I did. Look, watch. I came over here and looked down, and this is what I saw. Well, not this, because they're actually open, but when I looked down here, they were actually closed. They're not supposed to be closed when you turn the car off. I created a video and I sent it to the homie, and I was like, yo, I think I found the issue. I found out what's wrong with my car. I found out why my performance is lacking. I found out why my negative, I kept getting so many negative corrections on the tune. I found out why my oil temperature was so high. I just found it all out, and the active grill shutters were closed. So this is my hypothesis as to why that happened. The active grill shutters on my tune, I have it disabled. Now, I'm guessing that it just disables it in whatever position it's in. So when I turned the vehicle off and I had went from stage 0 back to my stratified tune, I'm thinking that the active grill shutters were closed, and they just disabled closed, and they had been closed for a couple of days. And that's why I was getting some really weird just weirdness is going on with the car, and it just felt so wrong during that time period. I cannot kill this gnat. So that's my hypothesis as to what happened. So what I ended up doing was I just took the tune off. I went ahead and uninstalled the access port, period. Actually, I'll tell you, while I was uninstalling the access port, they opened back up. As soon as I hit like uninstall and it got to, I don't know, maybe like 50 or so percent. I actually don't know what the percentage was that it actually opened back up, but whatever percentage it was when it hit it, it actually opened back up. And so I was cool with that. I was like, all right, so they're open back up. It's not like they're closed shut or anything like that. It's not like they're just, you know, broken like that. So that's just my hypothesis. Like I said, I guess they were closed when I put the other tune back on, and they just disabled closed. Word to you guys, if you guys have a tune that disables the active grill shutters, if you still have your active grill shutters, if you've taken them off, then you're already ahead of the game. Don't even worry about this video. But if you have them and you have a tune that disables them, I would check. If you switch tunes a lot or do different things with the Cobb tunes, then I would check, or stage 0, then I would check and make sure that they're actually open before you go ahead and switch back to your tune that disables it, because possibly your tune just disables it in whatever position it's in, because usually when you turn the car off, they open back up. So I guess that's just what happened. After that, I went out driving and I drove the car hard, and let me tell you, it acted the way it was supposed to. Everything, my oil temperature was funny was when I got home that day, my oil temperatures were, you know, they were high because I just got home from the office, and when I went out and drove, then they started to go back down, and I was, like I said, I was driving hard. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I think it was. It was just the active grill shutters were closed. So if you have a tune like that, or if you just have your active grill shutters and they just, if you're driving the car and it just starts to act weird, then I would check your active grill shutters to make sure they haven't just like fried, or you know, just anything like that. They just haven't messed up and they're just closed. So yeah, if you monitor your stuff here, then great. If you monitor your oil temperature, that's another way you can look at it too. So that's what I had to say in this video. Luckily everything was all good. They opened back up when I had disabled the tune, when I had to uninstall and reinstall the access port, and everything was super smooth and fine then too. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. If you have a something you want to add. Maybe you had an experience with rear active grille shutters were closed, or maybe you just want to tell me in the comment section, why do you still have active grille shutters? There's a lot of things in this car that I still have that I shouldn't, like the sound composer and the active grille shutters and the shift light. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I'm gonna jam all the way back home. It is so peaceful out here. You know, every now and then there's a car that I drive by, but I mean, you just look, listen to this, listen. It's amazing. Oh, and if you watch this video and you're like, yo, why are you sweating? Excuse the sweat. Apparently fall has decided to not hit Georgia just yet. And you know, we got a little sweat action going on right now, a little sweat. But yes, that is why I usually drive with no AC on, just because this is how I roll. So I end up sweating everywhere I go, unless I'm going somewhere that's important, that I need to, you know, I don't need to show up, you know, sweaty and funky and stuff. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I just ramble on sometimes in these videos because I don't know. The funny thing is that when you're talking to a camera, it's like, oh, you're talking to yourself. But I mean, am I really talking to myself, or am I talking to the hundreds of people that watch my videos? I don't know. I think I'm talking to myself.